And public, what time is it now? It's 1. Just put it for 1 here. Sorry, bear with us, guys. We're just going to be right here with you. Got one more spot to go live and then we'll be with you.
Yep.
Awesome. Did it work? Yep. I don't know if this is, but just go live. There we go. Guess it was the wrong button. Maybe what we'll do too is if you can have on your phone for seeing Facebook and stuff. So
Let's do that.
hello everyone. Nice to see you. This is the first time we're doing live on Instagram. So welcome. We are today we're going to be talking about the supposed do's and don'ts of spirituality. So I have here beside me Jade, and
Hey!
so welcome on Seekers of Truth. We're posted a little bit everywhere. Right now we're live also on Facebook and YouTube. So if ever you want to check us out a little bit more, we're a little bit everywhere now.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. We do this every Monday, and we really enjoy this. So thank you for being here with us. So first and foremost, before we do our little chatty, we usually play our bowl. So I'll let you do that for us if you're okay.
Oh, I love
Just to clear the
Yeah.
space a little bit. I think we can all see it, eh? Yeah, the bowl. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
I just feel so much better after that.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot more calming after. That's true. Oh, jeez. No, it's really, really nice. It's such a beautiful. It's still going.
Yeah. That's
Probably
actually
you guys don't hear it, but it's still going on and on type thing. So it's a pretty still going. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. So for today, like I was saying, let us know actually if you can hear us properly too. Just want to make sure everything is okay. Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, if you can hear us properly or not, just let us know in the comments. So, do you want to start off a little bit with we would say that what it means to be kind of like in the flow. So we're talking about the do's and don'ts of spirituality.
Yeah.
We know that there's a lot of people out there sometimes that like to I don't know if it's really dictate or they have it in mind where things are very much in a specific way.
Yeah.
And so they like to imply that type of stuff onto the general public and stuff. So,
and I think one thing to understand here is that, like, there's nothing wrong with having that type of, like, belief or anything like that, but there has to be an understanding that that's not the same with everybody. And there's that idea that, like, we create our reality. And what creates our reality is our very, very deep beliefs. So when we have very, very deep beliefs about something and things happen because of it, then that can cause us to think in that certain way. But as soon as you project that onto somebody else is when that conflict can happen, because that's not necessarily same for somebody else, but because they are told what the do's and don'ts are of that spirituality because of somebody else's really deep-rooted beliefs, that can basically cause a lot of chaotic energy and not go the way the person wants it to go. So when you're trying to figure out the do's and don'ts of your spirituality and stuff, in reality, what's happening is that you need to understand what are the really, really deep beliefs that are surrounding your reality. And by doing that, then you'll slowly figure it out and stuff. But one of the do's and don'ts that I see, and that is very obvious to me, is to be in flow. Um, and I wanted to talk about that because I was like, I feel like everybody talks about that on the internet,
Yeah.
and some of the like spiritual like practitioners and stuff are like, oh, just be in flow, and I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Give me an explanation. For me, what it means, obviously I'm into philosophy, so I turn this back to like Alan Watts' philosophy, where he basically said that if somebody feels perfectly free to be anxious is when we actually don't feel that anxious anymore. It's when we have that resistance to something or to an emotion or to a circumstance that it causes it to be even more extreme than it actually is. So to be in flow to me represents just allowing things to come through and to leave, and to understand that there's no such thing as right or wrong. It's just being in flow in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would say would be a do with spirituality, because I feel like a lot of people would agree with that. That if you're not in flow with life is when you just get out of whack and you don't know what's happening. It's hard to trust the universe. You feel like nothing's going right. You get super anxious and you're going against the flow because your ego really has an idea of what it's supposed to like, and going far from that or away from that causes a lot of pain, because it causes you to have to confront the reasons why you feel like it has to go that way.
Mm-hmm.
Was obviously a very deep rooted beliefs that we need to look into. But yeah, what's your take on it?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because you were bringing up Alan Watts too and stuff, and
Love that guy.
yeah, no, no, he was awesome. Yeah, he was really he was very inspiring. I think in a lot of things that he said, you know, it was quite inspiring. So like I was trying to explain before, you know, listening to people and when they say, you know, this is how it works or this is how it doesn't work and all that. And
Mm-hmm.
the same thing with Alan Watts, right? I mean, he was giving his understanding of life, right?
Yeah.
And so at your stage and your age, I should say, I was just soaking it all up because it was just well, yeah, it's really inspiring and it made sense, right?
Yeah.
Everything kind of really made sense for me. And then what was interesting afterwards is that when I started taking the courses, the universal energy courses, they teach you there at that point to almost like not listen to anybody anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Not because it was good or it was bad or it was right or wrong. It was just the fact of you were going within yourself now and saying, okay, I have to unlearn everything in order to understand what's really going on in life for myself, like what I'm doing to myself or how I'm projecting certain things or what I thought was the right way of I don't know, a right way of doing things, but in the end, it was causing me more harm than anything else, right? So it's really cool to listen to you say, you know, you're a philosopher, like you just wanna you grasp, you know, from a little
Yeah.
bit everywhere, and you're learning from everything, and it's like perfect in so many ways. It is no, seriously, it really
Yeah.
is, and because then you cap the things that you really resonate with you, and you let go of the things that you know that don't, basically. But then you get into, I don't know if it's a like 40s stage or something, but you get to a point where um, you integrated yourself so much into so many of these like gurus or spiritualists and stuff like that, and then it's almost like you're saturated.
Mm.
You don't really know which way you should go or what to listen to or anything of the sort anymore, and then you're like, okay, you know what, like it's overwhelming. I gotta stop, and that's when you start looking really within the inside and not listen to anybody anymore. And again, it's not because they're wrong or they're right or anything of the sort. That has nothing to do with that. It's just there's some type of satisfaction of working within yourself and saying, okay,
Yeah.
this really resonates with me. This is who I am, I guess you can say, in so many ways. So that's why I always say too, you know, when you're going through certain stages and stuff like that. I think at one point I was listening to, oh my gosh, what's his name? Sadhguru.
Oh, yeah.
He's from India and stuff like that too, um, and other different types of gurus too at the same time.
Yeah.
Yogananda and all of them too. And what I saw, and even with my instructor too, with my coach, whenever I was asking a very specific question,
Mm-hmm.
they never answered it. It was always kind of. It's not that they were avoiding the question. It was saying, "Here's my story. Here's my experience." So hopefully within that experience, it'll inspire you to find your own way in your own time
Yeah.
type thing. So and I think that's the best type of, I don't know, teacher, I guess you can say, that you can have.
Right?
Yeah, is when they kind of avoid the actual question and they start telling you a story or something of the sort of their own experience. It's pretty cool. At first, it's annoying
I
because you're like, I'm trying to ask you a question. Please answer, but it's not. It's not that simple.
Yeah, I really like that. That actually sits like so well with me, like being a teacher and just like pulling from your own experience and not trying to fall into the and saying like do this or don't do that, because in reality, you've never lived a footsteps and like never lived a day of that person's life or anything like that. Like you have no idea how they look at the world, anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can have like a look into it and kind of understand it, but reality, you only have your experience to go off of and like what helped you.
Mm-hmm.
So I really, really like that. I'm gonna start doing that when I talk to people. I'm not gonna answer the question.
Just to piss them off a little bit
I
more. Right?
know. Oh my gosh.
No, just joking.
Yeah.
No. It's yeah, it's just a different way of it's because you're not putting your perspective in there too, right?
Mm.
Because like you said, you went through a different life experience than myself. I didn't, necessarily live through what you lived through, so you have a very specific perspective of certain things. So um, how can you tell me anything if you haven't lived, my past or anything of the sort too, right?
Right.
So, yeah. Anyways, to me that's kind of a hard thing to get into everybody's lives and say, okay, well, you should do this because you went through this, but I didn't go through it. And I'm like, how does that make any freaking sense? How can I tell you what to do if I didn't go
Right.
through it? Yeah. And it's the same
Yeah.
story. I think we had already mentioned it, but with oh, it's not Yogananda, but there's another guru. Um, oh my gosh, I forgot it. Gandhi.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah. When he was approached by a mother and a son, and the mother was trying to get her son to stop eating sugar because he was gaining a lot of weight due to it. And when she was telling Gandhi this, Gandhi said, "You know what? Come back in 2 weeks." And she got pissed off because it took such a long time before meeting him, and then finally, and then he told her to come back in 2 weeks. Anyways, they did, and and then that's when he met them again, and he goes, listen, he goes, I've been off the sugar, and it's helped me tremendously. Like I haven't been eating the sugar for the last 2 weeks, and now I eat things really clean and this and that, and that inspired the boy more than telling him you should not eat sugar,
Yeah.
right? It's more through an inspiration, and he actually did go through the experience before telling somebody else what to do, basically.
Yeah.
So that's a different perspective of doing things too. So.
Right.
Mm.
And something else that like kind of comes to mind is that like I hear a lot of like spiritual people like online that like I follow and stuff, and that like have created their own business and like in the spiritual community and teaching people how to do like the inner work and stuff like that. And one of the things that they all kind of say in common is the fact that like if you find you're not getting the clientele or you're not attracting people or like in your business and stuff, it's probably because you're not practicing what you preach.
Yeah.
And that was like a huge thing, and it's like it's crazy to me because I do see that, and I'm like, yeah, like energetically, like even though we not maybe like find it mentally, if you're not like drawn to somebody or what they're preaching or what they're telling you to do or anything like that, it's probably because they're not practicing it themselves, which is
True.
another why I'm like, okay, these monks like had it right beforehand, and in reality that they they know it's going to be useless unless they can't tell you their own experience, because there's so much energy to that. And as energetic beings, like, we pick up to that so fast, even though we're not consciously aware of it.
Yeah, yeah,
Which
definitely.
is so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the universe kind of mirrors, right, what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not practicing it, you're not going to receive anything out of it, type thing. So
Right?
it totally makes sense on on that part. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then I know we want to touch base a little bit more on like you're probably a little bit more experienced than I am on this one, but like clearing spaces or
Oh,
clearing
yeah.
things before. Well, because with your Reiki, right? No,
Oh,
you
yeah.
clear, like you clear your space. Well, for me, I guess clearing this clears
Yeah.
for me, or I
Mm-hmm.
do the transfers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the two things
Yeah.
that I use quite a bit for clearing. But I know you do other different practices too for.
Yeah. I guess I try to use it in like my day-to-day life,
Mm-hmm.
um, as much as I like can like remember to do it. Um, so it's like, I don't know. There's a lot of things that are not necessarily good for us in this world, but it's like all around us. That like you could like are like the water, or like
Oh.
having a drink, or some of the food that we eat, and like other stuff as well. And there's just a lot of like lower vibrational energy around it. And even though I can't necessarily get like that physical stuff out of it, I can try and change the energy within it. So, um, something that I do in like my day to day life, uh, which also you do not need to know Reiki to do this. You have universal energy inside of you, so because of that, you can move the energy. You can use your own energy too. You don't need a certification to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing.
That's another thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that after.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta write it down. Yeah.
But no, and it just takes practice. Like, example, I have this in my hand, and I just put my palms around it, and then I just bring the white light in through my heart center into my hands, and I just clear it. And obviously, I can feel like my breathing happens more. Sometimes I'll burp or something like that, but I'm just clearing the energy around it, and like of it. And so then I do that. So anytime like I'm gonna have like a drink of water or eat like food or anything like that, I just clear the plate first or anything. If I eat meat, I'll like clear the energy of that first. And it's just like a really simple technique to do. I just visualize it just like being surrounded with white light. And then I just let it go once I find that it's kind of done. And I think that's a good technique to use, especially if we were just talking about that, is that when you're going through like um, change of like shifting of energy, or like you're getting a lot of downloads from the universe, and like you're just kind of expanding, some things your body may reject, like alcohol or anything else that may get in the way or lower your vibration when your body is trying to go through this. So because of that, I think this is really good, because then it just helps you out. So you don't get like sick so much, because there's a lot of pollutants and like everything around us. But it's just like an easy little quick fix to it. Also, then you're not like, this is like one thing, and like when I started getting like really into spirituality, is that like I was like, I wasn't able to eat this, I wasn't able to eat that, and like there were so many pollutants. I was like, I don't have anything, but like this costs so much money to get, and I'm working like a minimum wage part-time job, and it just like gets to you to like a certain amount. So if you're in the space where you feel so anxious because you can't do anything because it's all bad for you, but you don't necessarily have the money or the time to do anything else, and this is nice. This is like a first little step.
Yeah, and it's also anyways, it's just more of an understanding that yes, there's not so great things around us, like you said, the pollutants and the air, the water, the
Yeah.
food, like almost everything. It's surrounding us 24/7. So what can you do in that state, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the fact of not eating certain foods or not. I mean, drinking. Even for myself, like yes, I do from time to time take that glass of wine and stuff. Is it gonna kill me? No, of course not. But even before drinking it, I'll clear it too, right? And then that's the whole state of things. I didn't do it this weekend.
Neither did I.
We were both just discussing, and again, I mean, I work with energy and stuff like that on a constant basis, but it doesn't mean that I don't drink or anything of the sort, or I stop myself if I go out with a friend, to have that glass of wine or whatever. I had overdone it, obviously, this weekend. Pretty bad because yesterday was not a good day. It took me the whole day to kind of recoup. Um, and that's just to say I'm just not used to doing any of that. So it kind of reiterates that, okay, I don't want to drink, probably for another really long time. And everything okay? Oh, I'm looking up
I was
there.
looking right there.
Yeah,
I didn't realize we already saw that.
yeah.
Continue though.
So anyways, the whole point of this is it's not really trying to change your environment to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's really taking care of your environment. So like you said, you're holding that cup of water, you're about to eat your food, you transfer the energy to it. Doesn't matter what happened to the food, doesn't matter if there's pesticides or this and this, that. When you transfer that energy, that's what the whole point is that it eliminates all of that.
Yeah.
So, and it's pretty fascinating to even say, like this is one point that, the only point really I think that I took from the one guru guy, the Sadhguru guy, was the fact that, you have all of this stuff that you put in your mouth and it turns into you.
Mm.
That's you don't think about it that way because you're just chewing on the food and digestion and all that. But it's like, no, actually, it doesn't matter what it is. It really turns into you type thing. So obviously, if you put, crappy things into your mouth, you get crappy results in the end. But you can work with that, and that's the whole point of the transferring the energy and eliminating all these different things. And basically, it's just rebalancing everything, right? Like all the food and whatnot. So again, these are all what's the word?
Tools.
Tools, yeah, exactly, yeah. They're all tools that we can use to kind of help us, move forward and stuff like that, though without moving forward in fear, right? Or anger, because, everything is not the way that we want it to be in the outside. Okay, well then what can you do to change it within, the inside? That's how it basically works. You don't like the food from here, do the transfer and eliminate all the stuff in there. If you want to actually eliminate the foods, very specific foods, then yeah, sure, go ahead. It's for one person to the other is completely different. As long as you follow your own intuition in that, and not follow like what we're saying or anybody else says, basically in the long run. It's just um, learning, really, more than anything else.
Yeah, it's really just like a learning experience. Also, something that like too is that like I hear a lot of like influencers and just like people around that like talk about, once they became spiritual, they stopped drinking, they stopped doing this, they stopped smoking weed. Now they only do this stuff on like certain days. They only eat ghee or whatever, and which is it's totally okay if that's what helps them with their spirituality and is the lifestyle they want, then 100% do it. But then I also found this like really big push for myself, being like, oh, am I not spiritual because I don't do that stuff? Which was another thing, because then I would feel so guilty about the fact that I'm 21, I still go out and drink with my friends. I'm spiritual, but I also love rodeos too. Like, and like, you know what I mean? So, I mean, some parts of rodeos I like. I like the dancing part. I don't like it when sometimes it really like makes me sad when I see them like riding like the bulls and stuff like that, because I know the pain that I can't watch. It makes me cry. That's one part I can't do.
Yeah.
But
That I can understand, yeah.
it's like what was I even saying? I got so sad there when I mentioned the bulls. It's understanding that your spirituality is a part of who you are, but you also have many parts of it. And if you don't feel the need to shift automatically, but slowly go through that, then definitely. Again, I'm a person that is very much surrounded by like, if it's in flow, then it's in time. Which means if I find the urge to stop drinking or going out or doing these things that are bad for me and everything like that, then 100%. But if I still want to have those experiences, I don't try to guilt myself out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, Alan Watts, is if we feel perfectly okay to feel something or do something, then that guilt goes away. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I want to say is that like spirituality is going to look like for different for everybody, but lifestyle to spirituality is also going to look different depending on who you are. And it's not a dictation of what your worth is or how spiritual you are, because in reality, even if you aren't aware of your spirituality, you still are a spiritual being. And you still did do something to come here. Also, another thing too is people get like so crazy with the world because they're like, oh, this world is so bad for us and all this stuff. But also, we chose to be here at this exact moment in time. Like our souls wanted to experience what it was like being in this world and having this experience in it.
Yeah.
Being conscious of our spirituality or not being conscious of our spirituality. Some people chose to be here on this earth and live just not being aware of this stuff, and just going through the transition, not going through it really. I guess going through it, but not being aware of it themselves. And some people choose that to extent where then they get to awaken. Some don't want to. So, yeah, it's not really our place to judge or anything.
No, of course
Or
not.
ourselves.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, actually, the question that
Yeah.
kind of came to me too while we were talking about, because we say the word a lot there, but like, what is spirituality?
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that too. I was like, maybe we should like talk about that. It's the same
What does
thing.
it mean, like, to you, or what does it mean to? Because I mean,
Right.
for someone who's very religious, they're being spiritual, right? That's a spiritual
Yeah.
sense or whatever. But for me, I guess spirituality is it's exactly like what you were just saying now. Is the experience, right? It's experiencing as many different things as possible in a lifetime, right? People know me as Josee doing, this podcast, but like years back, like I was a biker, so you'd see me all in chaps and everything.
I didn't know you were a biker.
Well, yeah. See
Oh,
what I
right.
mean? This is what I mean. A lot of people don't know that.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were like biker, like vroom vroom. I thought you meant like mountain biking.
No,
Like-
biker vroom vroom. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, of course, yeah, like and so obviously it was dressed up all, in the biker gear and this and that, and
I don't think
know.
I've ever seen you wear like black leather or anything.
Really?
Like I think I've seen you wear like a brown leather. Oh my god.
Oh, the brown. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's just a fashion thing, but no, no, it's more that way. No, that was a certain part of my life too. I'm an artist. A lot of people do know that. But like I do like to experience all these different types of lifestyles too, right? Like I'm a hippie too in a lot of
Right.
ways. So it's just the more almost like lifetimes that you can put in one life,
Oh my gosh, is like the better. I
the
know.
better, yeah.
I like, and like that's the thing too. Like you don't have to stick to one thing because that's who you are. Like to be honest, you don't actually exist. So.
Yeah. Okay, that's a whole different
The
topic.
I
I know.
The possibilities are like endless. That's so funny because I think that's hilarious how we put ourselves into those little boxes without even realizing where we want to do something. We're like, oh wait, that's not me though. This is my thing. And then it's actually like, oh, that doesn't actually exist. Like that line between what
Yeah.
you are and what you aren't.
Yeah, so that's what I guess spirituality. What I was trying to say is spirituality means to me is more again undoing everything that we've ever really known and just experiencing as many different avenues. I don't know, like doing different businesses, having children, like all these different things. Like it's all that's what spirituality is to me. It's not sticking to necessarily one thing. It's really experiencing as much as I can, good and not so good, along the way type thing. It's not always going to be super positive or anything of the sort. And that's the other thing too, right? Spirituality is not always hunky dory.
No, there's work that comes to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Due to your background, due to your experiences, due to so many different things. In the end, it depends how you interpret all of it and how you can better it, basically, not only for yourself but for others later on too, right? For the population there. I know a lot of people don't, and this was including myself, like necessary to share good or bad experiences. Like I was a little bit more of how can I say, like I maybe because I was ashamed of certain things, I just didn't really want to share it with anybody, right? though in the end you're just kind of like hurting yourself too at the same time. And also I went through specific experiences, and I know that whatever I did at the time, either I was right or wrong, I'd rather share it with somebody else so that they don't have to go necessarily through that same experience, or
Yeah.
go about it a different way, right? So yeah, that does a huge opening actually for not only myself, but it's helping as many people as possible, and that's why we're doing this, right? So
Yeah.
in so many
Spread
ways.
the info, spread the love.
Spread the love,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my spirituality would be like pretty similar in that same way. It's just like the experience of having an experience.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go away. But it's also just learning too.
Yeah.
Everything that's on that side and on this side and what we're capable of and all of the stuff.
Yes.
I guess like spirituality can like be pretty confusing because a lot of people, yeah, they do when they hear the word they immediately go to religion.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Which I totally understand that too. But I don't know. Like to me, it's just I know I'm like a spiritual being, like a spirit. You know, just experiencing what it is like to be human in this time and period, and there's a reasoning for that.
Yeah.
And with that reasoning, I know the reasoning comes from the experiences I'm going to have. And yeah, but it's like never ending either. Like I'll always be a spiritual being. You know what I mean?
It's never ending.
It's never ending. I'm always gonna be here. Which is a little bit scary if you think about it, but right? I've had to figure out more about how I would like to explain that though. Because yeah, I have gotten that question a lot in the past of like people who are very much like who had a different way of viewing spirituality, where like sometimes you get the thing where like, oh, you can't be spiritual without being religious. Have you heard people say that?
Really? No, actually.
I've had a few people say that to me.
Really?
I know, yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
And like, I was always like confused by that because I was like, I mean, I guess my family was religious when I was younger, not so much me anymore. Obviously, I do still have ties to it because that's like my ancestry and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, or just I guess like kind of different areas around it. What's the definition? What's the definition on Google what spirituality actually is?
I'd have to look it up to see exactly there, but
Can I quickly look it up?
yeah, of course. Yeah, it's I don't know if there's like one sentence that I can say,
right?
You know, what spirituality is, but the only thing that really comes to me when I say that is just undoing everything that I've ever known, and just remembering that
the quality of being concerned with the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things. Spirituality is a personal search for meaning and purpose in life and a connection to something greater than oneself.
Greater than oneself, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, the last sentence, say it again.
Personal search for meaning and purpose in life and connection to something greater than oneself.
Yeah, that's really important for a lot of people, is understanding the purpose of why they're here also.
Yeah.
Either it's in a religious sense or in a spiritual sense, I guess. I don't know what the word is, I guess, when you're not religious, though. It's finding the meaning, why am I here type thing, you know, what can I do, what's my purpose, and this and that. I went through that. And I, at this point, I don't think it really, it's not the main thing for myself anymore, is like what my purpose is. It's more of like, what do I enjoy enough so that I can share with others. And that's what my purpose is, you know?
Yeah.
Like for that aspect is, and plus also I don't only think of it as I have a purpose. Like you can have so many different purposes while you're here.
Oh, 100%.
Like it's not like, well,
There's
what
no
makes
one.
you think that you have that one purpose type thing?
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that could be a blocker in so many ways for certain people.
like I've gone to readings. I've done my own like soul searching too and stuff, and I've been told and kind of figured out like what my purpose here on earth. But as I've like I don't know lived too, like same thing. Like I've come to realize that I actually don't care what my purpose is. Like I do care in a sense. It makes me understand more of who I am and what I think my purpose is and what I was told in like tarot readings and stuff like that. But yeah, like it's gonna change in life and it's gonna be different. I'm also not gonna be the same person I am now in 20 years. So that purpose is
No.
also gonna change. You know what I mean? And maybe
Oh
I
yeah,
will live
big
my
time.
purpose during that time and the new one will come through.
Yeah, for sure. Mhm.
I think it's just being in service to yourself and to others. That's the
Mhm.
bigger thing. I think when you do that, then the universe will really bring you into it. Because I think there's so many potentials of what you can do in this life. You know what I mean?
And I think that's usually how people find their purpose is by serving, um, everyone else. Not forgetting yourself in the process. You're
Yeah.
always taking care of yourself and whatnot. Because I mean, you got to take care of yourself in order to be able to help others, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not a selfish thing like what society has, implemented, I guess. But it's helping
That's crazy how
others.
much like we believe that from society. Like if you take care of yourself, it's selfish.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was from a long time ago, I guess. I'm not even sure when it started, but
Yeah.
yeah, it
It's
was for the
starting to
longest time.
fade now and everything like that. And I think it's because like we've
Pretty
been
faded.
on like a oh my gosh, on like a whole thing of like a health thingy in the
Mhm.
whole world now.
Yep.
Type of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's shifting for sure. So, and actually, you were just showing me. We're going through a major shift right now too. From what your mom had sent you,
Oh,
that little blurb there, and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know about it until now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of looked at the video. I was kind of listening to it as like my mom was listening to the kitchen and or my mom was listening to it on the couch and I was in the kitchen like cleaning up and I was like and she had it on like full volume. So I was like kind of listening to it and then I watched it myself. Um and it's really cool but it was about this lady talking about how oh my gosh, what was her name? I feel like I just need her like name so that I can kind of oh my uncle just texted me. It's a photo of me from when I was like 5. Aw, where's my mom? So that was so weird. He just texted me that. March 4th to 9th, 2025, a major energy shift that will impact everyone by Wendy Morgan. Um, so that was really, really cool. And what she was talking about was like we were getting ready for like the last couple months here, slowly going into the shift. And what she said that a lot of people were going to kind of feel since like December was that this energy shift was happening and something that people could be feeling was that their heart could be racing. They could feel very very warm all throughout this time. Um, and my mom was like, yeah, 100% because I did Reiki on her. And I told my mom, I was like, why is your heart racing right now?
Yeah.
Like calm down. And she was like, I am calm. It's like the most
Aw.
peaceful I felt today. And I'm like, no, it's not. Anyways, and then she saw this. She was like, oh, this is probably why. And basically, right now is a really good moment, horoscope wise, for us to do our manifestation because our the energy is just really having kind of like an evolution right now, and the universe is really pushing us to work on ourselves and to bring these manifestations in by jumping into this new energy, which I've been feeling. I've been feeling this whole jump into getting into this stronger energy of who I am.
Yes, very much. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Mm.
So I've been working with like my solar plex a lot and stuff, which I'm like fire, that warmth, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, that's kind of wait, why were we talking about this? Sorry.
That's a good question. we're going from one topic to it. We're talking about spirituality and then the meaning of it and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
But
It's okay, don't worry.
you guys were supposed to know for a reason. So right now is a really, even though we're past the 9th, it's still a really good time to do some manifestation.
I brought it up. Sorry, I brought up that there was there were like changes coming in, so that's why you brought up the lady and stuff. Yeah. So.
Oh my god, this year's gonna be such a good year. I've been saying it over and over again. Like I am so ready. Horoscope wise, everything is alignment. We are in the year of 2025. Yes. 9. So in the new beginnings. Last year was the 8th.
Yeah.
They all said that last year was supposed to be. I don't really think I didn't have the best year last year.
No, me neither.
This year.
Yeah, it's a lot better. A lot of doors opening actually for
right
for us. Yeah, I find this year was a lot better than well, for me anyways, it was a lot better than last year, that's for sure.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Last year was like a lot of doors closing. This year, like so many pathways have opened up. But and yeah, do your manifestation.
Do your manifestation, yeah. And I have just to share with an Instagram too here, I have message from, whoops, I'm just going back here. Hello, Tamale. I hope I'm saying your name right. Greetings to you. Thank you so much for being here as usual. You're awesome.
Aw, such sweet words. Oh my gosh.
I know, yes, no, very much, yeah. And then I have Lori. So remember when I told you about biking? We were biking. We were biking together from time to time because both our exes now. Um, we were bikers and stuff. Anyways, she says to me, spirituality is embracing a power greater than you, knowing that there is a purpose for you, whether it be religious or spiritual.
Yeah.
Religion is a comfort for people. Yeah, and I agree with that too. Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
have found that the Gen Z folks have brought self-care to the forefront of society. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, for sure, the Gen Z definitely did that. It's interesting because they brought that forth at the same time. It went a little bit, to me anyways, to the other extreme where it's
Yeah.
only about me, I guess, in so many ways. Or
That like whole thing, like one thing that I saw is like people were making a joke on the internet about like how Gen Z is in like a job interview and they're like, you're actually triggering me with these questions.
yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, it's like this all the time. It's always from one extreme to the other, right?
Oh yeah.
And before having that balance in between. But I do completely agree with Lori on that part. It's
Yeah.
luckily, I mean, we're kind of.
I would say that because that's like when that started happening was when Gen Z, like most of us were around like 18 years old or so, and when social media became like a really really big thing, and when like I find all that stuff were like coming through, and that was like the age where like we started having a lot more of an implication, I guess, on society. We were adults now, type of thing. So I guess that. Yeah, I would say that Gen Z did do that. But again, I do say it went to the extreme in some parts. But we'll slowly find ourselves back to the middle.
Yeah, no,
That's the
for
funny
sure.
thing. We have to go like to the extreme to see where the line is at.
Yeah, I don't know why
Yeah.
humanity is like that. We always have to go to like freaking extremes before learning our lessons, I guess, in so many ways.
I guess it's because in reality there actually is no rules. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we have the tendency to follow rules but don't, but also when there's not rules in place and we have to see where the line, the extent is of those rules. You know what I mean?
Pushing the boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree on that with you. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, definitely.
We like to push each other's buttons.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that, Lori. I don't know if. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
That was
that's everything.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Cool. If you guys don't have any other, I'm just gonna check the. Oh no, actually, this is the Facebook, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna check the Instagram if there's any questions there, and if not, we will start. Hi, Mary. Hey, guys. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so we'll probably do the little card reading unless there was something else that you want to add in before we.
No, I think that was a really good conversation.
That was like really hot. I don't know why the conversation really like overheated my my system for some reason. Oh my gosh.
You're going through an energy shift.
Yeah, I was like, holy smokes. Yeah, it was a good topic. I know it was something that a lot of people did want to hear about and stuff. So
yeah,
I'm glad that we were able to do this. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you guys like got a little bit more from it. Kind of understand it some more.
Definitely.
Sorry, put that right there.
It's all good. Yeah, my little table.
Little table. I'll put the phone there in case anybody else says something.
No worries. It's good.
See, I'm even cleansing my cards right now with the energy. I love doing it this way. I feel so like warm after. All right. Spirit, please direct us reading with love and light. Please protect me and Josee and the collective here and bring forth what they need to know in the highest form. Thank you. All right, guidance for the next week for them.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I really like these.
Wow.
The background's quite dark. And what I'm kind of getting that is like kind of going into the unknown, kind of seeing different parts of yourself, seeing what that looking like. The first card is Call of the Dancing Crane. I think cranes are viewed as like lucky symbols. Like if you like see a crane and stuff, it's a really really good omen. It means a lot of great things are gonna be coming through in line. I think that this again another explanation is kind of like doing the dance, dancing with life, being in flow with it, and kind of like singing your song, which means being very expressionate of who you are, being seen. I think a lot of good things are gonna happen this week if you allow yourself to be seen, allow your energy to grow, and go on the movement with our go with the dance of life. There may be a lot of fear around being seen, but just work through that and just step out of your comfort zone just a little bit, a little bit. I think you'll find that it's gonna be a lot easier to step out of your comfort zone and be seen when you go with the flow of stuff. Because it's just gonna feel very natural to you because that's exactly where you're supposed to be in that moment. Yeah, a lot of authenticity. Many hands of the goddess. She's stunning too.
Mm-hmm.
I think I really like this one too. I think this card is really showing me for you guys to be present. That you guys can have a lot of direction or a lot of places where you want to go to. Um, it'll all happen, but you can't get in your head too much, all because it's not happening in one moment. When you have the idea or the urge to be at multiple places, try to find your center in the moment and then work from there. And then slowly work into getting to those places there. Because you may be feeling that for a reason that you're supposed to be there, but understanding when that's supposed to happen and what you should be doing right now is a really good understanding that you guys need to bring through. But yeah, no. So if you are feeling anxious or like there's a lot of things on your plate, just reflect back on that. It may not be because they're not supposed to be there. If you have a calling for it, that calling is true. You just have to be, yeah, again, understanding of where you are in the present moment. The threshold. I think this is really, really cool. I think that once you guys are learning these two, I think these are two really big lessons you guys need to learn. Um, is being having lots of callings, but being in the moment and being very authentic and letting yourself being seen and being with the flow. I think from that you guys are going to be able to kind of expand and shift your energy. Look at all those flowers. It's like you guys are finally in the movement. You guys are going in a certain direction there. And it's beautiful, and she's so seen, and she's just like in her element. I also like it because the numbers are 3-9. It's like 3-6-9.
It's true. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
You're right.
the universe's number for manifestations,
Yeah.
receiving what you desire, you know, going on the journey, just being in that energy there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think a lot of good things are on the rise as long as you guys, be in the flow, learn those lessons. You're gonna find that you guys are gonna shift a lot. Yeah, even doors may even open for you guys, or a certain direction that is meant to happen may happen. Yeah. What do you think?
I noticed that the like the head and the chest or the heart area is bright, like the brightest, basically, out of all the on all three of the women here.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, everything
Oh
else
wow.
is darker, but the mind and the heart, so it's all about keeping things in balance. So when she was talking about the many hands of the goddess, it's like a lot of feeling the responsibilities of so many different things. Uh, Once again, it's just kind of look within yourself, see which ones are basically bringing you forward in life, I guess you can say. things that you can handle, so it'll keep that balance within you. And then afterwards, the last one is the threshold, but she's almost like letting go of all the flowers, like she's letting go of all the petals and stuff like that. So once you work with whatever it is that you that brings your heart joy and stuff like that, then just kind of let it go by the end of the week type thing. Let it. That's what you were talking about, the flow. It's just bringing in that flow within your life again by the end of the week. So at first it's kind of like just going through the stages of what's going in your mind, what's going in your heart, what can you handle, what do you want to work with, and then just let it go. By the end of the week, that's what I'm seeing out of all of this. I think that's it. There is a lot of the unknown, like you said, because of that darkness in the back.
The unknown is not meant to be fearful. It's just where you discover more of yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's working within yourself to, remember that part of you again, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. So.
I love that.
It is, yeah. Yeah. No, that's what I'm getting.
Nice.
That's all the messages I'm getting out of this, yeah, for this week. Oh my gosh.
Well, have fun, you guys. It looks like a good week.
Yeah, definitely a really good week. And again, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
This was really awesome. I don't know what our subject is going to be for next week, but
yeah,
I'll keep you up to date.
Also, leave a comment if there's anything you guys want to hear. We're open to ideas and stuff. Or even little things you guys are curious about. We can make it into a whole video if you want. But yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Wait, Nicole said something. I am truly inspired by the way you have evolved and embraced your journey. Aw, your dedication to learning and personal growth is remarkable. Oh, you are so nice. Thank you.
Here, I'm going to put this here. That's awesome.
Oh, that's so sweet of you.
Else? Yeah.
I think that's... Oh, and then Lori said, but I am thankful for it. Being an empty nester has made me take a good look at myself and start working on my healing. Aw, I love that.
Yeah,
good
definitely.
for you.
Yeah, for sure. We've kind of come a long way. Yeah, definitely. So again, thank you for sharing all that. It's really awesome. And thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. And we can't wait already for next week.
I know, I'm already excited. Yay.
All right, guys.
Okay.
So we will see you then. Thank you again. And many kisses to all of you.
Yeah.
All
Have
right.
a fun week.
Have a fun week, yes.
We'll see you on Monday.
Take care.